What's going on YouTube? It's your host Bruce GNT, and for today's video we're going to talk about apparently Israel just approved their plan to take over the whole Gaza Strip. Now I believe I said that I already saw this happening like in a few videos, like videos ago, because I said time and time again, the Prime Minister Netanyahu, he has no intentions on any type of peace with the Palestinian people or Hamas or whoever. He doesn't. He wants Gaza. He wants Palestine. Like, he wants it. Like, I said this in previous videos, and I was like, look, I see, especially when the whole ceasefire fell through, I already knew that this was going to happen. I already knew. So apparently they're moving forward with their whole plan, a plan that I believe they already has set in motion way before now. But let's jump right into it.
Also today overseas, Israel's government approved plans to capture all of the Gaza Strip. Country's army is calling up tens of thousands of reserve soldiers. Our MTS tie-up has the latest.
Well, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has made it clear Israel's plan is now to capture all of the Gaza Strip, and that this offensive will be, in his words, intensive, and that Israeli troops will remain in the devastated Palestinian territory for an unspecified length of time. Now, Netanyahu also said the Israeli military's previous strategy of carrying out raids and then abandoning territory it once held will now be, in his words, the opposite. Israeli government ministers unanimously approved these plans for the new offensive just today. Only hours earlier, it was announced that tens of thousands of reserve soldiers are being called up. Now, despite 19 months of brutal violence in Gaza, the Israeli military has so far failed to achieve its goal of destroying Hamas or returning all the hostages. And critics within Israel say the new plan will achieve neither of those goals. Now, the situation in Gaza is already catastrophic, and this will only make things that much worse. We have to remember, for 2 months now, Israel has already prevented all food, water, and medicine from entering Gaza. It's already being described as the biggest humanitarian crisis the Palestinian territory has ever seen. Now, speaking to reporters at the White House, President Trump did not offer his views on Israel's plan to expand operations in Gaza, but instead blamed Hamas for having treated the people of Gaza, quote, very badly. The president, however, did say the U.S. will, and again, I'm quoting here, help the people of Gaza get some food. Now, Trump's comments come as he is expected to visit Saudi Arabia, the UAE, and Qatar next week, something Israel sees as a window of opportunity for a hostage deal in Gaza. Israel is reportedly trying to leverage the U.S. president's trip to the Middle East to push Hamas to accept a deal, with the Israeli military reporting that Netanyahu will launch that massive ground operation if no deal is reached. Back to you.
MTS tie-up for us.
So look, I've said it once and said time and time again, I don't fully understand what it is with, Israel and certain countries, especially the U.S., when it comes to like us just not calling out and saying, hey, look, this ain't it. Because when the ICC had put Netanyahu as like basically a war criminal because he's committing war crimes, and I could agree, the president jumped to his aid and was like, whoa, that's wrong. Why would the ICC do that? Because I read the executive orders when he was basically calling out the ICC, and then called out other countries that sided with the ICC and said Netanyahu specifically, not so much Israel, but Netanyahu specifically is a monster. So I don't know what that's about. Like I said time and time again, I'm gonna call it the things that I see as wrong within this administration and that I don't necessarily agree with. In this case right here, yeah, I don't know what I'm not gonna say I don't know what the goal is for Netanyahu, and I had to let this be known. I'm not saying the Israeli people. I'm saying Netanyahu specifically, because a lot of Israeli people do not agree with his methods. They do not agree with what he's doing, and they honestly don't want him in power. I'm specifically saying that he himself wants to do all this, and his constituents as well. The people that are working alongside him. So I'm interested to see how this develops. I'm interested to see like what the president has to say. Will he say anything? Probably not, because like I said, these people are so much. I don't know. They're so buddy with each other that it seems like they're gonna avoid having that difficult conversation of, hey, this is wrong. This shouldn't be happening, And I'm on neither side. This has nothing to do with what's going on in the U.S. We should mind our business. And I'm interested to see how this story unfolds and what develops in the coming, days, honestly, because if he's planning to do this, I know this isn't going to be something that's going to wait it out. He's going to try to make a move as fast as he can, especially since he knows that Trump is going to be going to Saudi Arabia. So we're going to see how that rolls out. Besides that, there's been a lot of death. There's been a lot of destruction on both sides, and I'm not here for any of it. Honestly, I'm not. I'm not here for war. I'm not here for, you know, the loss of life, and especially when it comes to civilian life, and there's been a whole lot of that. It's terrible. I can only imagine what the people that have been affected by this and the families of those affected by this, what they're going through. So I just want to leave it off by saying I'm not for any of this. Hopefully, this could be. Hopefully, two things can happen. One, we could wash our hands with this, and I hate saying it like this, leave them to their own devices because that's none of our business. I think we've dipped our hands and pulled money out of our own pockets enough for us to just say, you know what, this is for you. And the second thing I want to happen is that hopefully there could be some type of resolution to where there's not some type of mass killing of one side, honestly, because I feel like that's exactly where it's going. They talk about how Israel, you know, hasn't really rooted out Hamas. Honestly, what they're gonna do, they're gonna bomb places and say, "Hey, look, we felt like Hamas was there." That's exactly what I feel like they're gonna do, and that's what I think they have been doing. And I don't say allegedly because obviously I don't specifically know, and I don't want no one hemming me up and being like, "Oh, you said this." Nah, I said I believe or alleged, you know. But that's it for this video. This one's pretty short. I just wanted to give like a little bit of a, you know, update, give a little bit of information what's going on over here, and I'm gonna keep abreast about this and I'm try to see what other news and information I can pull out. You guys already know the drill. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, comment down below. Tell me what you think is going to happen. Tell me your thoughts on. I'm not going to ask you whether or not you feel like what's going on and what he plans to do, you know, when it comes to like taking over the Gaza Strip, whether or not that's right, because we could all agree I think that's wrong. But do you just see that this is going to be just a genocide of the Palestinian people, you know, in the quest to get rid of Hamas, or do you see that this is just going to continue on for the next few years and other countries are going to get involved? Let me know in the comments down below. And subscribe if you want more. Peace.